Fresh off world domination and a Copa America hangover, Argentina is back for another continental crack. Lionel Messi and La Albiceleste are ready to reclaim their crown, but can they avoid a samba of disappointment? It seems like a lifetime now, thinking about how Argentina finally ended their trophy drought on the international stage. La Albiceleste ended their 28-year wait for a trophy after a 1-0 victory over their eternal rival Brazil in the 2021 Copa America edition. But that was only the beginning of their success story, as they went ahead to conquer the world at the 2022 World Cup after defeating France in that classic World Cup final. It was a particularly sweet end for a certain Lionel Messi. The Barcelona legend finally got his hands around the golden trophy after 4 disappointing trials. But if there's one man Leo has to send a fruit basket to, it has to be his former teammate and current head coach, Scaloni. Lionel Scaloni will once again be looking to make history this summer, as Argentina will be looking to win their 16th Copa America, making them the team with the most continental titles. And if there's one man who is capable of doing the unthinkable these days, it has to be Scaloni. It's just great to see how far the man has come since 2018, when he stepped in as temporary manager of Argentina after the failure of the 2018 World Cup. Now, if you didn't know, his appointment wasn't exactly met with cheers. Even the legendary Diego Maradona threw some shade, calling Scaloni unqualified. The whole thing felt like a bit of a mess. The Argentina's Football Association got slammed for having no plan and just throwing some names at the wall. But hey, sometimes the best things come in unexpected packages. Fast forward 4 years, and that decision to give Scaloni a shot looks like pure genius. Who knew this unqualified guy would lead Argentina to their first World Cup since 1986, and their first Copa America title since 1993. Argentina winning the Copa America and World Cup was epic. And just when you thought they would have just chilled after that, Scaloni's crew kept their foot on the gas in 2023, winning 9 out of 10 matches, including that epic away win over Brazil in the Maracana. Scaloni got Argentina playing like a well-oiled machine, and will be on course to pull a historic international three-peat just like their European counterpart Spain back in the day. La Furia Roja picked up 2 Euros and a World Cup in a 5-year period that started in 2008 and ended in 2012. Scaloni and his boys would definitely love to emulate that feat, but does he have the team for it? There's also one question mark hanging over his time with the national team. Will Coach Scaloni stay on after the Copa America? Nobody knows for sure, so he might be looking to go out with a bang and defend that 2021 title. Speaking of surprises, Scaloni left a big name out of the squad, Paulo Dybala. The guy scored a ton of goals for Roma last season, but injuries got in the way. Was it the right call to leave him out? Will Argentina miss his firepower? Those are the million-dollar questions, folks. Let me know in the comments what you think. Now, if Dybala isn't making the trip to America for the tournament, here were the guys who got selected over him. Argentina will be going into the tournament as the #1 team in the world according to FIFA. And just when it looks like they've got the squad to win the Copa America, countries like Brazil and Uruguay remind us that empires rise and fall. And if time is not taken, the Argentines might just meet their demise this summer. But with a squad like this one, maybe there's nothing to fear. I mean, when you've got the GOAT himself in your team, there's no stopping the crew. Lionel Messi is the reason most of us will be glued to our screens in the early hours of the morning. The 36-year-old, who recently announced he'll be ending his club career with Inter Miami, will no doubt be the centre of attention for this tournament. With his career winding down, every Messi touch from now on is going to be like watching history unfold. And let's face it, even kicking a ball around in sunny Florida hasn't dimmed his magic. This guy has racked up 25 goals and 25 assists since joining Inter Miami. 36 and still doing his thing. Leo would absolutely love to win the Copa America in his newfound home. Argentina's going to need him firing on all cylinders if they want to lift that trophy. The veteran, who has had teammates playing fanboys, will also be counting on the support of other experienced heads like the usual suspects of Angel Di Maria and Otamendi to count on. There's also the young guns from Manchester, Julian Alvarez and Alejandro Garnacho, who will be looking to light up this tournament. The talented Argentines have had a mixed season so far. Garnacho in particular has enjoyed a breakthrough season with United, scoring that heavenly bicycle kick against Everton and capping the season off with a goal in the FA Cup final. Alvarez, on the other hand, has had to play second fiddle to Erling Haaland in City. Will any of the kids get a chance to lead the attack in the tournament? Or will Scaloni stick to Lautaro Martinez, who had a brilliant Serie A campaign last season? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let's take it to the midfield, where we've got the dream duo of Enzo Fernandez and Alexis Mac Allister, with Rodrigo de Paul adding some serious bite to their creativity. At the back, things are a bit of a guessing game for Scaloni. His go-to guys since the World Cup have been Cristian Romero and Nicolas Otamendi as the central defensive duo. But hey, that might have something to do with Lisandro Martinez being stuck in injury land for a while. Speaking of the Manchester United defender, he's finally fit again, just in time for the tournament. Could he steal someone's spot? On the right side of the defence, it's a battle between Nahuel Molina and Gonzalo Montiel for the starting gig. Over on the left, things are a bit more settled. Marcos Acuna and Nicolas Tagliafico are probably going to be the two mainstays there. And in goal, there's no denying that the much despised, much loved Emiliano Martinez will be in charge. Ever since Qatar, Emi has built a reputation as a world beater who loves a good penalty shootout. You might not be a fan of the antics, but there's no doubt that this guy has reinvented himself as the boogeyman when it comes to shootout. But the big man doesn't just reserve his best for the spot kick. According to the guys at Opta, he saved way more goals than expected last season in the Premier League. If there's one event the neutrals will be hoping to play out in this tournament, it will be another Emi Martinez penalty masterclass on display. But aside from the team quality and world-class coach they've got, Argentines back home will be counting on their incredible team chemistry to see them through. You don't need binoculars to see that this squad feels like a family, and judging from the 29-man list Scaloni released, they haven't changed much. The good vibes they've had since the last Copa America is still very much intact, going by all those social media pictures of the squad that is oozing aura. These guys are on a roll. They've found a winning formula that past Argentina teams have only dreamt of. But I know for sure no team is invincible. I mean, Uruguay snuck in a win over them in Buenos Aires recently, and Brazil and Colombia are going to be tough nuts to crack. But if there's another thing that might work out in favour of Argentina, it is the draw. They can't face any of those big boys until the final. If they win Group A, they get a cushy matchup in the quarter-finals against one of Mexico or Venezuela. Even the semis, assuming everything goes according to plan, which, let's be honest, it rarely does in football, could see them facing Ecuador, who might be the toughest team in Group B, but still a manageable opponent. And yes, it wouldn't be a walk in the park, but compared to the other half of the draw, it's like a stroll on the beach. Of course, football loves throwing curveballs. There will be surprises, there will be drama, that's for sure. But here's the beautiful thing, no matter what happens, Argentina can't face any of the other big guns until the very last game. They can rest their star players, keep them fresh, while the teams on the other side of the draw are slugging it out in epic battles just to make it to the final. And who says they can't snatch it too when you've got one of the greatest players of all time in your time team?